यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनारञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनारञ्जना यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधवा जय कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनारञ्जना यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जना यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर श्री राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय गौर निताय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. So we'll be reciting this is 10:54, 23 and 24th verse. So we'll do the recitation of 24th. I'll read the 23rd verse. Vikatthamānaḥ kumatir īśvarasyāpramāṇa-vit rathenaikena govindam tiṣṭhety āhvayat tiṣṭhety athāhvayat. Translation. Boasting thus, foolish Rukmī, ignorant of the true extent of Supreme Lord's power, approached Lord Govinda in his lone chariot and challenged him, "Just stand and fight." Purport. It appears from these verses that though Rukmī set out with an entire military division, he personally rushed up to Lord Krishna to fight with him. Text 24, please repeat after me. Dhanurvikrishya sudridham jagne krishnam tribhi sharaih āhvayat chanam tiṣṭha yadunam kulapansana. Dhanurvikrishya sudridham jagne krishnam tribhi sharaih āhvayat chanam tiṣṭha yadunam kulapansana. Dhanurvikrishya sudridham jagne krishnam tribhi sharaih āhvayat chanam tiṣṭha yadunam kulapansana. धनुर्विकृष्य सुदृढम् जग्ने कृष्णं त्रिभिशरैः आह छात्र क्षणं तिष्ठ यदूनां कुलपांसना. Mataji? धनुर्विकृष्य सुदृढम् जग्ने कृष्ण त्रिभिशरैः आह छात्र क्षणं तिष्ठ यदूनां कुलपांसना. Dhanuh, his bow, vikrishya, drawing, su, very, dridham, firmly, jagne, he struck, krishnam, Lord Krishna, tribhihi, with three, sharaih, arrows, aha, he said, cha, and, atra, here, shanam, a moment, tiṣṭha, stand, yadunam, of the yadus, kula, of the dynasty, pansana, O corrupter. Translation and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: Rukmī drew his bow with great strength and struck Lord Krishna with 3 arrows. Then he said, "Stand here for a moment, O defiler of the Yadu dynasty." Purport: Srila Sridhar Swami points out that Kulapansana may be understood as a combination of the word Kulapa, O master of the Yadu dynasty, and Amshana, O expert killer of the enemies. The Acharya gave the grammatical details that make this interpretation possible. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kankshana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So I feel myself utterly unqualified to be sitting here in front of such illustrious Vaishnavas. I'm really kind of nervous also, because it's like you put a hare in front of a big mighty elephant. He does not have any place to go. So I offer my respects to all the Vaishnavas who are present here, and with their blessings and mercy, we would like to proceed and discuss something from Srimad Bhagavatam today. This chapter is dealing with the marriage of Krishna and Rukmini. And we have been hearing this since many months. I guess it is elaborated in many chapters. this particular pastime of Krishna marrying Rukmini. So I have a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is 10th canto, chapter 13, text number 2. We will recite this and then we will see how this verse is connected to this pastime. So please repeat after me. Satamayam sarabhritam nisargo yadarthavani shruti samape pratikshanam navyavadachyutasya Striyavitanamiva sadhu varta. So the translation is given by Srila Prabhupada. Can we just move to the translation of this verse? It's a very beautiful verse from 13th chapter. Here Sri Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Paramhansas, devotees who have accepted the essence of life, are attached to Krishna in the core of their hearts, and He is the aim of their lives. It is their nature to talk only of Krishna at every moment, as if such topics were newer and newer. They are attached to such topics just as materialists are attached to topics of women and sex. Can we go to the verse? This is a very beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam which appears in the 13th chapter. The context is that Sri Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing the Vad, the killing of Aghasura, and after hearing from Sri Shukadeva Goswami that the pastime of the killing of Aghasura was told by the cowherd boys to all the Vrindavan Vasis after 1 year. We all know the reason why. Because for 1 year, Brahmaji stole the cows and calves. When Parikshit Maharaj heard this, he immediately asked question from Sri Shukadeva Goswami that, "Oh Sri Shukadeva Goswami, please tell me what is the reason that the boys who would regularly narrate all the pastimes which Krishna did that very same day, he had to tell this particular pastime after 1 year? What is the reason? What is the cause?" Hearing the question itself, Sri Shukadeva Goswami went into such transcendental ecstasy that he lost his consciousness and he fainted on the Vyasasana. When this happened, Sri Parikshit Maharaj and all the listeners of Srimad Bhagavatam, they are in complete anxiety. Now what to do? Parikshit Maharaj has 3 days left to leave his body. He is sitting there to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and perfect his life. And now the speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam is in transcendental ecstasy. So it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam that all the listeners of Srimad Bhagavatam, they took up kartal, mridanga, and they made tumultuous sound of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. When this was done, when the holy names of the Lord was chanted, slowly Sri Shukadeva Goswami came to his consciousness. This is the end of the 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto. And as soon as he gets up from his consciousness, Sri Shukadeva Goswami praises Parikshit. Parikshit, he says, this is a verse in praise of Parikshit. He says, Satamayam sarabhritam nisargo yadarthavani shruti chetasam api. Sri Shukadeva Goswami praising Sri Parikshit, he says, Satam ayam sarabhritam nisargo. Oh Parikshit, what taste you have for Krishna Katha. What kind of inquisitiveness you have. You have already heard all the Aghasur pastime and still you are asking question about the same pastime. It's not like Parikshit did not know Krishna Katha. From the very beginning of his life, Parikshit has been involved in hearing and chanting of Lord's holy name and his katha. He is a devotee from birth. Even while being a king, he has heard many, many pastimes of Krishna. So, does he not know that this particular pastime of Brahma stealing the cows and calves? Well, he knows about it. But the very fact that a devotee is never satiated hearing Krishna Katha, this is the nature of devotee, and therefore Sri Shukdev Goswami, who went into transcendental ecstasy thinking about the fortune of the Vrajvasis, especially the cows and the mothers of Vrindavan, who got to feed Krishna directly. Their desires were fulfilled completely. So, in that ecstasy, Sri Shukdev Goswami thinking about that pastime, that how for 1 year Vrindavan Vasis enjoyed with Krishna, how the mothers and the cows, they got such great fortune to feed, to serve Krishna for 1 year. So here Parikshit Maharaj, Sri Shukdev Goswami says, Satam means devotees. Ayam means this very nature. This nature of inquisitiveness, that a devotee is never satiated hearing Krishna Katha, he is always inquisitive to hear more and more. This is the very nature of you devotees. This is what Sri Shukdev Goswami says to Parikshit. Satam ayam sarabhritam. Why? Because devotees are sarabhritam. They have captured the very essence of all Vedic literature. And nisargo means they do not, you don't need to push them to hear and do Krishna Katha, to chant and hear Krishna Katha. This is nisarga. Nisarga means this is their innate nature, this is not their acquired nature. This is the very, to do Krishna Katha is their birthright. That's what Sri Shukdev Goswami says. Satam ayam sarabhritam nisargo. The second line says, Yadarthavani shruti chetasamapi. And they engage all their senses. Yad arthavani shruti chetasam. They engage their ears in hearing Krishna Katha. They engage their tongues in always doing Krishna Katha. And their minds are always absorbed in Krishna Katha. And api means anukta samucchay. That means their bodies, their each and every activity is meant just to hear Krishna Katha and chant his holy name. This is the nature of devotees. This is where Sri Shukadeva Goswami is glorifying Sri Parikshit for his questions. Then he says, Pratikshanam navyavadachyutasya yat. Pratikshanam. These devotees, their nature is that they have heard Krishna Katha many, many times. But every moment they feel newer and newer rasas in hearing Krishna Katha. Pratikshanam navyavat. Navyavat means they get newer and newer realization every moment hearing the same pastime. And then he gives an example. Striyo vitanam iva sadhu varta. How beautiful this example is. Sri Shukdev Goswami says that these devotees who are attached to hearing Krishna Katha, they are like that of debauchees. They are like that of women hunters who go behind women and they only talk about women and sex. That's what Sri Shukdev Goswami says. Now, our acharyas, they point out, they say, did Shukdev Goswami not get any other example to compare devotees? No, comparing devotees to the debauchees, to the women hunters. But just see, this is Sri Shukadeva Goswami's word. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. So devotees are being compared to who? They are being compared to those materialists who are only attached to discuss about opposite sex. And how they feel newer and newer rasas in discussing those topics, similarly devotees feel newer and newer rasas in discussing Krishna Katha. Sri Shukadeva Goswami, our acharyas here in this particular comment by Sri Shukdev Goswami that devotees are like those of women hunters. They say that there is a similarity between devotees and those who are women hunters. What kind of similarity? He says, our acharyas, they say, striyah vitanam iva sadhu vartha. Striyah, this word in Sanskrit is in ekvachan. This is one striya. It's ekvachan, that means just one lady, you can say, one woman. And vitanam is bahuvachan. That means many such women hunters are attached to discuss topic about one woman. So similarly, many devotees, they sit in circles, they sit down in Srimad Bhagavatam classes and they discuss about that one personality. Who is that? Sri Krishna. So therefore there is a similarity between women hunters and that those of devotees. Then he says, there is a pun here. One acharya, he says, you see, the women hunters, what they talk about, or those who are materialists, they only talk about man and woman relationship. That is their job. They talk about man and woman relationship, they go to cinema, they look at that and they have newer and newer appreciation. Day and night they keep talking about that. So these materialists, they talk about parastri and parapurusha, right? Parastri means a woman who is not attached to his legitimate husband but is attached to a different purusha, parapurusha. And parastri means a man who is not attached to his legitimate wife but he is attached to a different woman, not his wife. This is their discussion, and this is the whole cinema industry. You see, people, what they show in the movies, that a man and a woman go against the social norms, and all the people who are watching that movie, they have that feeling that may these two creatures, they meet, let them meet, right? That's what their goal is. And all these materialists, they appreciate, they have great and great appreciation, increasing appreciation for this subject matter. So this materialists, they discuss between parastri and parapurusha. That is their discussion. Our acharyas give a pun here. What is the pun? He says, see, the materialists are discussing about parastri and parapurusha. The devotees are also discussing about parastri and parapurusha. Why? Because Krishna is parapurusha. Parabrahma, paramdhama, pavitram, paramam bhavan. Purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam gurum. Srimad Bhagavad Gita says, Krishna is parapurusha. And paraprakriti. Who is paraprakriti? Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param. Jiva bhuta mahabaho yaidam dharyate jagat. That is paraprakriti. So here materialists are discussing about parapurush and paraprakriti, and here devotees are also discussing about parapurush, that is Krishna, and paraprakriti, that is Rukmini. So this is their nature. You see, this entire pastime of Krishna with Rukmini, this looks like a movie. Rukmini Devi is writing a love letter to Krishna. Krishna gets a messenger from Rukmini who is requesting Krishna to come and abduct her from her own marriage ceremony. Well, where do you find similarity? Don't you find similarity here? Yes. So therefore, striya vitanam iva sadhu varta. The devotees are also attached to these topics, but in a different way. Srila Prabhupada was very revolutionary in his thought process. Nivritta tarshair upagiyamānāt bhavaushadhāt shrota manobhiramāt ka uttama shloka gunanuvādāt puman virajjeta vina pashugnāt. Canto 10, chapter 1, text number 4. Nivritta tarshair. It is said that there are many people who are attached to Krishna Katha. Nivritta tarshair means those who are completely detached, they are attached to Krishna Katha. Upagiyamānāt, they always sing and hear about Krishna because they are completely detached. upagīyamanāt bhavaushadhāt shrotamanobhiramat. And for those who are materialist, even they are attracted to Krishna in some way. Srila Prabhupada in his Purport, he talks about that how even karmis sometimes get attracted to Krishna because Krishna does pastimes like this. He is writing, he is responding to love letters, he is dancing with the gopis who are looking like they are parastris. So Srila Prabhupada at one place he says that Krishna sometimes does these pastimes to attract the materialist, because Krishna knows that materialists, they are attracted to two topics in this world. If you go to the news channels, all you will hear is about politics. The most discussion, most of the time there is discussion of politics, or otherwise there is discussion of entertainment, that is discussion between man and a woman relationship, cinema industry. That is the point of discussion of the materialist. So Srila Prabhupada, he says that Krishna knows the heart of the conditioned soul. He knows that people are interested in politics and man-woman relationship. Therefore, sometimes Krishna, this is a secondary reason for Krishna pastimes, that he does pastimes in such a way that even if you are interested in politics, just read Mahabharata. Krishna is doing so much politics in Mahabharata. And just read Krishna's pastimes with Rukmī. They are so beautiful, but they will purify, certainly, in some time. So therefore, at one point of time, Srila Prabhupada, while speaking on a verse from 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sashishuryayo. Very famous verse of the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says, Raso aham apsu. In apsu means in any liquid, I am the rasa, I am the taste in any liquid. Srila Prabhupada, while lecturing, he says that this verse proves that even a drunkard can become Krishna conscious. Prabhupada says that if a drunkard, while drinking wine, if he remembers that the taste of wine is Krishna, surely in some time he will get purified and he will achieve perfection in his life. That was Prabhupada's thought process, his revolutionary thought process. Prabhupada saw bhakti everywhere. I remember I was hearing a pastime that one Sri Vaishnava came to Srila Prabhupada and he said to Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, when I read the commentaries, your purports, I am reminded of the commentary written by Sripad Ramanujacharya. Srila Prabhupada said, thank you for the compliment. Because Sripad Ramanujacharya, he also, if you read his commentary on Bhagavad Gita, he always brings out bhakti everywhere. And that's what Srila Prabhupada does. So here also, Striyo vitanam iva sadhu varta. Just like the materialists are attached to the topics of man and woman, and similarly, devotees are also attached to similar topics, but in a different way. They only hear about Krishna's pastimes with Rukmī. So this is a very important point which I wanted to point here. Now, there is a difference between devotees and jnanis. You see, the jnanis, those who are too detached from this material world, they don't have anything to do with Krishna pastime. They are not so much interested in Krishna's pastime, although they are very, very detached from this material world. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Sri Krishna says to Uddhav, Yadrichhaya mat kathadau, Jat shraddhastu yah puman, Na nirvinno, nati shakto. Sri Krishna says to Uddhav that Yadrichhaya, if somehow or other a person develops rati, or develops taste for hearing Krishna's pastime, Yadrichhaya mat kathadau, Jat shraddhastu yah puman. He develops some taste. Then he says, Na nirvinno, nati shakto, bhakti yogasya siddhiga. That person who is not too detached and not too attached, by the process of bhakti yoga he attains highest perfection. A very important point Krishna raises here in the 11th canto, that a devotee is neither too detached nor too attached. Why? Srila Rupa Goswami brings this point in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, that this is the nature of a devotee, that he is not too detached. That means he is not detached like that of the jnanis. Because if you go to the jnanis who are only meditating on Brahman, they are only deliberating, discussing and delineating on what is Sat, what is Asat, what is Chit, what is Achit, what is Ananda, what is Nirananda. They don't have anything to do with Krishna's pastimes with Rukmini. They will say, why should I hear a pastime where even if he is Parabrahma, he is getting married to someone? Their discussion starts when there is sannyas. So they are not so much interested in these pastimes. Therefore, this is the nature of a devotee, that he is not too detached, not detached like that of jnanis, and not too attached. That means he is not attached like that of materialist. He is in the middle path. And therefore he has taste for Krishna's pastime. Therefore he can hear Krishna's pastimes with Rukmini. Therefore, for us, discussing these pastimes of Krishna, marrying Rukmini, is a process for our purification of heart. In this particular verse, Jat Shraddhastu Yah Puman, Krishna says, Yadrichaya Mat Katha Adav. On the verse Adav, that means one who is attached to my Katha and something else. What is that something else? Our acharyas point out, not just Katha, somebody or a devotee who is attached to singing of Krishna's pastimes, even theoretical performances. Yesterday, Her Grace Daivi Shakti Mataji was telling that how Prabhupada wanted dramatical performances of Krishna's pastimes. Even if somebody gets attached to those performances, he becomes Krishna's devotee and he achieves highest perfection. How amazing. Now, we were hearing yesterday a different facet of this particular pastime. Krishna marrying Rukmini from the Lalit Madhav. How Mataji was telling that how all the gopis of Vrindavan, they only came to Dwaraka and they became the queens of Krishna, which is described in Lalit Madhav. This is one facet of the pastime which happened in a different kalpa. But in Srimad Bhagavatam we find that this particular pastime is where Rukmini is born in Vidarbha Kshetra and she gets married to Krishna. Rukmī is the brother of Rukmini. We have been hearing the story. In the Skanda Puran, there is description of Venkatachal Mahatmya. There is a description of the Venkatadri in the Tirupati. In the South India, the hill, Tirupati hill, there is Dham Mahatmya given in the Skanda Puran. In the Venkatachal Mahatmya, there is description of Padmavati getting married to Srinivasa. A very similar pastime, how Sri Rukmini is getting married to Krishna, there Lord Srinivasa gets married to Padmavati. In Skanda Puran it is said that Krishna, after doing his entire pastime in Vrindavan and Mathura, he goes to meet Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda expresses a desire to Krishna. That, oh Krishna, I was not so fortunate to see the marriage ceremony that happened in Dwaraka, where you got married to Rukmini. And therefore I have a desire that I want to see you get married. This is the desire which Mother Yashoda expressed to Krishna. Krishna said, Maya, Mother, not in this lifetime. In my next incarnation, when I come to the hills of Tirupati as Srinivasa, the same Rukmini will appear as Padmavati, and then you will come as Vakul Malika. You will become my mother, and then you will see my pastime of getting married to Padmavati. A very similar pastime, how Rukmini Devi, she again becomes Padmavati, and the same Lord, Sri Krishna, he becomes Lord Srinivasa. Well, there is no difference between Lord Srinivasa and Sri Krishna in Siddhanta. Siddhantatastu abhedopi Sri Īśvarasyā Krishna swarupayo Rashonot krishyate Krishna rupamesha rasasthiti. Sri Rupa Goswami has said that there is no difference between Sri Krishna and Sri Vishnu. Siddhantatastu abhedopi. There is no difference. Sri Īśvarasyā Krishna swarupayo Rashonot krishyate Krishna rupamesha rasasthiti. And therefore there is no difference between Rukmini and Sri Lakshmi. In fact, in Srimad Bhagavatam, when Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, that, "Oh Shukdev Goswami, please tell me how Krishna abducted Rukmini," there Sri Shukdev Goswami has used the word Shri for Rukmini. And all our acharyas, including Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Sridhar Swami Pad, they all say that Shri means Lakshmi and Rukmini is not different from Sri Lakshmi. In some temples in South India, there are 12 marriage ceremonies every day done for Srinivasa and Padmavati. Krishna is so attached to getting married. See, in one day, the Lord Srinivasa gets married to Padmavati 12 times. Just imagine. And why shouldn't the Lord be attached to getting married to her consort Padmavati? Because Padmavati, who is Lakshmi, who is obviously Rukmini, she has such qualities that even attracts Krishna. This is the nature of Krishna. Krishna is attached to the qualities of his devotees. He is attached to the bhakti of his devotees. And therefore, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th chapter, there is a verse spoken. It is said for Krishna, Yasyendriyam vimathitum kuhakair nasheku. This is the 36th verse of the 11th chapter, that Krishna, all the queens of Dwaraka, they all together with all their feminine nature could not attract Krishna. That is said in Srimad Bhagavatam. They could not attract the indriyas, the senses of Krishna. Why? Because Krishna is most detached. This is one meaning. But some of our acharyas, they point out that this is not for Rukmini. This is for all the other queens. Udyam bhava pishuna smita valgu hasa vridavaloka nihato madanopi yasam sammuhya chapam ajahat pramadottamasta yasyendriyam vimatitum kuhakairna sheku. That all these queens of Dwaraka, they would try to get attention from Krishna. How? By showing their feminine nature. They would udyam bhava pishuna. They would sometimes become grave. Sometimes they will become so excited. Sometimes they will look at Krishna from the corner of their eyes. Sometimes they will have certain gestures that they will try to attract Krishna towards them. But yasendriyam vimathitum kuhakairna sheku. But they were not able to attract Krishna's senses. It is said this is not for Rukmini. This is for all the other wives of Krishna, that if they tried to imitate Rukmini, everybody knew that Krishna is so attached to Rukmini because of her qualities. And if all the other queens, they tried to imitate Rukmini, that maybe if I show such bhava which Rukmini shows, then maybe Krishna will also get attracted towards me. But then Srimad Bhagavatam says, Yasyendriyam vimathitum kuhakairna sheku. Because Rukmini is the most exalted, the topmost queen of Krishna in Dwaraka. Because Rukmini is Swayam Mahalakshmi. Sripad Yamunacharya, in his literature, Varad Vallabha Stotra, he speaks the qualities of Mahalakshmi and why the Lord Srinivasa is so attached to Padmavati, why Krishna is so attached to Rukmini. who is Mahalakshmi. Sripad Yamunacharya says, Akara Traya Sampannam Aravinda Nivasinim Ashesha Jagadishitrim Vande Varadavallabham. This is Varadavallabha Stotra written by Sripad Yamunacharya. He says, Akara Traya Sampanna, Mahalakshmi, Lakshmi, Rukmini or Padmavati, anyone. They all have three very important qualities which attracts even the Supreme Lord. What are those three qualities? He says Akara Traya. There are three Akara. What are these? Ananya Arha Sheshatva, Ananya Sharanatva and Ananya Bhogyatva. These are three qualities of Mahalakshmi which attracts even Krishna, which attracts even Lord Vishnu. Akara Traya Sampanna. And we can see these three qualities in Rukmini. What does it mean? Ananya Arha Sheshatva means that whatever Mahalakshmi possesses, whatever she has, whatever possessions she has, she utilizes everything in the service of Lord Vishnu. Everything is meant for Lord Vishnu. And if somebody comes and surrenders to the lotus feet of Mahalakshmi, to Varada Vallabha, to the dearmost consort of Varadaraj Swami, if somebody comes to surrender to his lotus, to her lotus feet, she makes him qualified and takes him to the Lord Varadaraja. Therefore, first quality of Rukmini is Ananya Arha Sheshatva. The second quality Sripad Yamunacharya mentions, Ananya Bhogyatva. Ananya Bhogyatva means that Mahalakshmi or Varada Vallabha, her entire existence is meant only for the enjoyment of Sri Vishnu. Therefore, you can see this quality in Rukmini also. Her entire existence is meant for Krishna's enjoyment. Therefore, Ananya Bhogyatva and Ananya Sharanatva. Ananya Sharanatva, Sripad Yamunacharya mentions that she takes exclusive surrender. She does exclusive surrender only to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Vishnu. Therefore, Sri Lakshmi or Sri Rukmini also has all these three qualities which makes Krishna also get attracted towards Rukmini, and therefore he is also eager to marry Rukmini. It's not that just Rukmini is eager to marry Krishna. Even Krishna is eager to marry Rukmini because of her qualities. In the Rig Vedas, there is a prayer which is called Sri Shukta. There also the qualities of Mahalakshmi is mentioned. And her exquisite beauty is also mentioned in the Rig Vedas. The very first mantra of the Rig Veda, the very first mantra of the Sri Shukta of the Rig Veda, it is said, Om Hiranyavarnam Haranim Suvarnam Rajatasrajam Chandram Hiranmayim Lakshmim Jatavedo Ma'avaha Tam Ma'avaha Jatavedo Lakshmim Manapagaminim Yasyam Hiranyam Vindeyam Gamashvam Purushanaham. These are some qualities of Mahalakshmi mentioned in Rig Veda. The same qualities applies to Rukmini. This first mantra of Sri Shukta, it is said, Om Hiranyavarnam. Mahalakshmi, her varna means her bodily effulgence is Hiranya. Hiranya means she has a golden complexion. Haranim, and her eyes are so beautiful that they are compared to the eyes of deer. The deer's eyes are so beautiful and they are very chanchal. Hiranyavarnam, Haranim, Suvarnam, Rajatastrajam. And that Mahalakshmi, she is adorned with many, many ornaments of gold and silver. She is wearing many, many garlands. She is wearing many, many necklaces of gold and silver. Chandram Hiranmayim Chandram Hiranmayim. And then again the Rig Veda compares Mahalakshmi to an effulgent full moon, but with a golden hue. Chandram Hiranmayim, Lakshmim Jata Vedo Mahavaha. And the mantra says that, O Agni, please bring that Mahalakshmi in this sacrificial arena so that I can worship her. Again, in the same prayer, describing the qualities, the beauty of Mahalakshmi, it is said, Padmalaye, Padmini, Padmahaste, Padmapriye, Padmadalayatakshi, Vishwapriye Vishnu Vilasini, Manonukule Tvatpada Padmam Mai Sannidhatsva. This is again a mantra from the Rig Vedas. It is said, Lakshmi, her name is also Padmavati, who became Padmavati because her entire body is like that of lotus, very beautiful like lotus. So there also it is described, Padmahaste, she is holding a lotus in her hand. Padma Priye, lotus is very dear to that Mahalakshmi. Padma Dalaya Takshi, her eyes are also like lotus. Padmini, she is complete lotus, she has many lotuses in her possession. Vishwapriya, she is very dear to everyone. And Vishnu Manonukule, she does everything only to please Lord Vishnu. And therefore the prayer is that, O Mahalakshmi, O Rukmini, please give me shelter of your lotus feet. So this is why these qualities of Rukmini, that she is exquisite, she has exquisite beauty and she has unlimited number of qualities that attracts even Krishna to go and abduct Rukmini from her own marriage ceremony. So it's not that just Rukmini is attached to Krishna, even Krishna is attached to Rukmini. Now in the verse that we have been discussing today, the 23rd verse, it is said, vikatthamānaḥ kumatir īśvarasya-apramāṇa-vit rathenaikena govindam tiṣṭhety athāhvayat. Now here when Krishna has abducted Rukmini, actually Krishna has not abducted, Krishna and Rukmini have eloped. Yesterday Mataji was telling, it was because Rukmini wrote a letter. There was a mili bhagat thi dono ki. Rukmini and Krishna, both of them. Rukmini wanted to get abducted and therefore Krishna abducted. So vikatthamānaḥ kumatir. Here, Sri Shukadeva Goswami is rebuking and chastising Rukmi. He is saying, vikatthamānaḥ, oh this Rukmi, vikatthamānaḥ, he is boasting himself. He is boasting himself too much. And then he says, ku-matiḥ. Ku-matiḥ means he does not have any sense. He does not know whom is he going to fight. Ku-matiḥ. This is like a rebuke from Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Vikatthamānaḥ kumati īśvarasya-apramāṇa-vit. And īśvarasya-apramāṇa-vit means, oh, he does not know the prowess of Krishna. He does not know whom is he going to fight. Do you think Krishna is a simple man that he is going to fight? And that too, he is a foolish fellow that he has not even taken his army with him. He is going alone to fight with Krishna. Therefore, Sri Shukadeva Goswami here, he says, īśvarasya-apramāṇa-vit. Oh, he does not know the prowess of Krishna. Rathenaikena govindam tiṣṭhety athāhvayat. Rathenaikena govindam. He goes towards Govinda and he says, tiṣṭha, ruko. He says, wait, I am here. Tiṣṭha athāhvayat. He says to Krishna. Now Krishna, he does not pay heed to such people. So Krishna kept on moving. Now this insult made Rukmi even more furious. Therefore Rukmi, he says, next verse he says, Dhanur vikrishya sudridham jaghne krishnam tribhi sharai. Dhanur vikrishya. When Krishna did not pay heed to Rukmi, Rukmī took out his bow and arrow, dhanur vikrishya, and sudhridam jagne tribhisharai. He took 3 arrows and shot towards Krishna. Ahachatra chanam tiṣṭha yadunam kulapansana. And then he used a slang for Krishna. He says, O Yadu Pansana, O destroyer, O corrupter of the Yadu dynasty, you are not befitting Yadu dynasty. You corrupter of Yadu dynasty, wait, I am coming here. Just stand there. So this is where Srila Sridhar Swami Pad, which is explained in the purport as well, he interprets this word kula pansana in a different way. He says, you can take this word as kula pansana. Kula pansana, pansana means one who is a corrupter. He is not befitting that position that he has got. So Rukmī is saying, oh, you are not a Kshatriya, you are just a Gopal, you are a Vaishya, how can you fight with us? So he is saying like that. And therefore kula pansana, you are not befitting Yadu dynasty. But Srila Sridhar Swami Pad, he breaks this word in a different way. He says kula pa is one word, and then he says ansana is the second word. Kula pa means this is the Saraswati earth, because Sri Shukdev Goswami cannot use any slang for Krishna, even in his wildest of dreams. So even when he is explaining what Rukmī said, Sri Shukdev Goswami means something else. What does he mean? He says Kula Pa means Krishna, who is the protector of Yadu dynasty. Pa means one who is protector. And Ansana means, oh, Krishna, he is very expert in killing his enemies, defeating his enemies. Therefore, Krishna is Kula Pansana. So here in this, in these 2 verses, Sri Shukdev Goswami also is rebuking that, oh Rukmī, you don't know the prowess of Krishna. Do you know whom you are going to fight? Ambodhi sthalatam sthalam jaladhitam dhuli lavah shailatam. Who is Krishna? Sri Rupa Goswami in his Padyavali, he has quoted the prowess of Krishna. He says, Ambodhi sthalatam. That Krishna, he can make the entire ocean into land. Just like he did in Dwaraka Leela. Ambodhi sthalatam sthalam jaladhitam. He can make sthala into jala. Dhuli lavah shailatam. He can make a dust particle as powerful as a mountain. Dhuli lavah shailatam. Shailam mritkanatam. He can make a dust particle into a mountain. He can make a mountain into dust. He can make a dust into mountain. This is Krishna's prowess, and therefore Sri Shukdev Goswami here rebuking, chastising Rukmī, that, oh Rukmī, you are ku-matiḥ, you do not have any intelligence. You do not know whom you are going to fight. So here I pause. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And please forgive me if I made mistakes. There are many illustrious Vaishnavas sitting here. It is quite an impudence on my part to be sitting here and speaking. So I beg forgiveness from all the Vaishnavas. And if there are any corrections, questions, comments, please go ahead. Hare Krishna. Yes.
While we were explaining in the very beginning the similarity between karmis, hunters, and devotees, it occurred to me that there is one other common factor, Lord.
Yes.
Just like karmis are never satisfied like Ravan, devotees are never satisfied with hearing about Krishna.
Yes.
So is that a good observation?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Okay, if there are no questions, Granthraj. Okay. Jai.